Welcome everyone. In the previous session, we were seeing JK flip-flops and we discussed about the methods to eliminate race around condition. Now we observe that when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, the flip-flop kept on toggling between 0 and 1 and that condition was known as race around condition. So the first option to eliminate race around condition is to increase the delay of the flip-flop. Now this delay we can see over here T, this delay has to be increased. Delta T, which is shown as the delay, has to be increased. That can be made by increasing the duration of the clock pulse. The rise and fall time can be increased. But this is not a good solution since increasing the delay, if you increase the delay, the speed of the system will decrease. Another option is to use edge triggered flip-flops. As we have seen in some sessions, we have used clock pulses to analyze the results. But instead of using clock pulses, we can use edge-triggered flip-flop. Most of our coding is done using positive edge triggering and negative edge triggering. So that is an option to eliminate race around condition. The third option to eliminate race around condition is using master-slave flip-flop. So what happens in the master slave flip-flop is the master will work during, if we say example, positive edge of the clock. The slave will work during the negative edge of the clock. The output of the master will act as inputs to the slave flip-flop and the slave will generate the output. We'll discuss about master slave flip-flop in the session. Before that, the next flip-flop which we will be seeing is a T flip-flop. Now we have T flip-flop, the next one. Now all these flip-flops are derived from the basic SR latches only. So to design a T flip-flop, I'll be using a NOR gate based latch. You can even use a NAND gate based latch, but you should be very careful about which is the R terminal and which is the S terminal. Then I have an AND gate over here. What is this terminal which I'm connecting? This terminal which I'm connecting is nothing but Q. So I can put an LED or I can even put this value, binary value, so that I can see the value over there. This is what? Q. I'll leave it as Q. Okay. So now what do I have? This is connected. Now I have to connect Q bar. This terminal is Q bar. As of now, I will not be keeping anything for Q bar. I told we'll only be analyzing Q because Q bar is not a Q. Now this is Q bar. Now what we have to do, what happens in this, this is a 3-terminal flip-flop. So 3-terminal AND gate. Okay, 3-terminal AND gate I've used. Now Q is connected to this first AND gate. Q bar will be connected to the second AND gate. So let me take Q and connect it to the first AND gate. This is the first gate what I have. This is connected to Q. Q bar is connected over here. Now what happened in J and K? What happened in J and K? J was one of the input I gave to this AND gate, one of the input I gave to this AND gate. But here it is a T flip-flop. T represents toggle. And in T flip-flop, I have only one input, T. So what happens to both the AND gates? I have to give the same input. So how do I give the input? whether it is a complemented input or the same input to both the AND gates. That is what we have to see. This, let me label it as T because it is only one input. Now this input T is directly given to both the gates without toggling. It is directly given to both the gates without toggling. There is no toggle and you are given both the inputs. Now again I can give a, and the next one what I give is a clock. So I can give a clock over here because I'm dealing with flip-flop. So I will be giving a clock. Now this is a clock. So I can name it as okay. Now what happens in a T flip-flop? When T is 0, see T is 0, what is happening? It is at 0 only. When T is 0, it will follow the previous state. Okay. When T is 0, it will follow the previous state. It is not 0. 0 was the previous state. So it is retained in previous state. When I make T as 1, this will toggle. Now what happens when I give T as 1? It will toggle. Whenever the clock pulse changes, this will change to, if it was 0, it will go to 1. If it is 1, it will go to 0. This is a simulator, so I'm not able to get a proper output. But when T is 1, this will go to toggling state, that is Q bar. When T is 0, this will be equal to Q. Like if I write the truth table, if I write the function table, there will be two inputs. I'll leave clock as of now. T is one input, the other one is output Q plus. Now what happens when T is 0, output will be equal to Q, which means it will follow the previous state. When T is equal to 1, output will be equal to Q bar. That is, whatever may be your previous state, it will toggle. Suppose if I have a clock. Suppose if I have a clock over here. Now what happens, I can either take to the positive edge of the clock or I can design it to the negative edge of the clock as per my requirement. So here I am assuming that I am designing it for the positive edge of the clock. So here T can be anything. T can be anything. So this will be following the previous state only. Okay. So now if I draw the clock, during the positive edge of the clock, I am showing the positive edge of the clock. During the positive edge of the clock, and for any other clock cycle, it will be 0. So this is the function table, we can say, or truth table you can say. So when during the positive edge of the clock, since I designed this for positive edge, you can also design it for negative edge as I've shown in the coding. During the positive edge of the clock, if T is 0, Q will be Q. During the positive edge of the clock, if T is 1, Q will be equal to Q bar. In all of the conditions, it will follow the previous state. Now, if you solve this, if you write, how do I get the characteristic equation? If I solve this using a K-map, what is the characteristic equation I will get in the K-map? So this is my K-map. I have only two inputs, right? I have only two inputs, T and Qn. So here, let me take the input as T. Here I am taking the input as T. And here I am taking the input as Q. So now this is 0. You already know that this will be 0. And this is 1. This is 0. And this is 1. Now when T is 0, what will be the input? What will be the output? The output will follow the previous state. When T is 0, if Q is 0, this will be 0 only. When T is 0, if
Q is 1, it will follow the previous state I told. When T is 0, you can see here, Q will be, next state will be equal to previous state. So when T is 0, if Q is 0, it will be 0. If Q is 1, it will be 1. Next, when T is 1, what is your Q value? Q is 0. So what happens over here? This will be toggling. So I will get 1 over here. And when T is 1, Q is 1. So it is toggling means I will get 0 over here. Now you can simplify the K map. So this is one term. This is one term. I don't have a pair. So I'll get only singles. So what will be the next expression now? Our expression Q plus characteristic equation Q plus will be equal to, what is the expression with related to this? This is related to T bar into Q. So this is equal to T bar into Q, T bar into Q, plus the other one will be equal to T Q bar. Now if you can see, this is also equal to T XOR Q. It is an XOR gate. So the characteristic equation of a T flip-flop is similar to that of an XOR gate. Okay. So this is all related to T flip-flop. Now we'll see how to write the code. This is the circuit diagram of T flip-flop. Now let us see how to write the code. Let us code a T flip-flop. Module T flip-flop. What are the inputs? I have only one output Q and one input T. You can also give Q bar. I'm not considering Q bar as of now. Input T, output Q. I'm writing the code for flip-flop using behavioral model. That is better to follow. So it will be register Q. Always at pause edge clock or neg edge. You can check for both. Pause edge clock. Always at pause edge clock. So here I have another input clock also. Clock. Input T and clock. Always at pause edge clock. Begin. What is the condition? If T equal to 0. If T is equal to 0, what happens to Q? Q will be equal to Q. Else Q is equal to not of Q. That is a T flip-flop. End module. Simple. T flip-flop I have written. Always begin end module. Now this is done. Now how do I write the test bench? So module TFF underscore test. All input should be declared as register. So I have only one input, register T. All output should be declared as wires. So I'll be having wire Q. Then I have to instantiate the main module. So what is the name of the main module? This one. So I have to instantiate that one in the test bench. I'll be giving TFF G1. What are your inputs and output? Q, comma, T, comma, clock. Done. Initial, begin, hash 0. I'll give T is equal to 0. Hash 5. I can give T is equal to 1. Verilog is case sensitive. So you should be very careful when using capitals and small letters. I can give, say, hash 6. T is equal to 0, and you can give any number of conditions of your choice. So I've given 3 conditions as of now. And then I have to give another initial. So this is to print. $monitor. $monitor. $time. What do I want to see? I want to see T. T is equal to, okay, first let us see clock. Clock is equal to percentage B. Then I want to see T. T is equal to percentage B. Then I want to see Q. Q is equal to percentage B. So this is clock, comma, T, comma, Q. This is done. Then I need an initial. Why do I need this initial? I have to stop the coding at some. I have to stop or pause it. Initial, say hash. According to my code, 5 plus 6 is 11. I need time up to 11 time units to see the results. So after 11, I can stop at any time. Hash $15 stop I can do. This is done. 3 initials. Then the next one is I have to take care of my clock always. Clock is equal to, say after some delay I should give, right? Hash 1. Clock is equal to not of clock. End module. So this is all with respect to the test bench.
This is the code for T flip-flop. We have T as the input and clock as input, Q as output. During the positive edge of the clock, if T is equal to 0, Q will follow the previous state, else Q will be equal to naught of Q. And we have the test bench with the test cases. So let us simulate this and see how the output looks like. We have the output of T flip-flop here. During the positive edge of the clock, this is the positive edge of the clock. Since T is 0 over here, we can observe T is 0. Q is following the previous state. Previous value is 0, next value is 0. Previously, we have initialized Q to be 0. During the next positive edge, so here we have the next positive edge. Again, T is 0, so Q will also be 0 because it's following the previous state. Then go to the next positive edge. During the next positive edge, T is 1. If T is equal to 1, Q will toggle. So we can see that the previous value is 0. The next state value is 1. Again, if you go to the next state, we can observe during the next positive edge, T is equal to 1. Previous state Q was 0. So the next state Q will be equal to 1. 0 and 1 is reflected here also. So this is all regarding T flip-flop.
The next flip-flop, what we are going to see is a master-slave JK flip-flop. Master-slave flip-flop. Here I am going to do a master-slave JK flip-flop. Now we have the flip-flops, JK, MSJK, everything we are having. I am going to use block diagrams to represent JK flip-flop. Now in a master-slave JK flip-flop, we'll be having two flip-flops. One acts as the master, the other will be acting as the slave. So this is one MSJK. This is one JK, what I'm doing. I have one JK over here. This is another way of representing a JK flip-flop. I'll be having Q over here. This input will be connected to Q. And here I have Q bar. So this is the cross-coupled connection. This one, which will give you the exact output over here. I've connected the output over here. So this will be our Q. So the second JK will always act as the slave. That will be driven by the master. So this is Q. This is the slave because I have something to drive this over here. So the flip-flop which drives this is the master. So I'll be having the master flip-flop over here. Now what happens? Q bar is connected to this one. This first NAND gate has a connection from Q bar. It is not from Q, it is from Q bar. This has a connection from Q. I'm showing it to you in NAND gates. You can also try it using AND, this gate being an AND gate. Okay. So Q bar is connected to this NAND gate. Q bar is connected to J and Q is connected to K. So the other input over here will be J. So this input is, we'll be having, this is J. Let me label it as, this is J, and whatever I have over here will be the K. This input what I have is K. So J and K. Now what happens? What about these two? What I should give? This is a flip-flop. If it is a flip-flop, I can give a clock over here. I can also go for clocked flip-flops, gated flip-flops also, but here I am giving a clock. So instead of giving a clock, I'll just give this input, but this is a clock. Okay, I'm dealing with flip-flops, so definitely this will be a clock. So this is clock. It is not varying, it has to vary. So I've given a clock over here. And now what happens over here? This is connected over here. Cross coupled connection I'll be having. So this is connected over here. Now you can see the connections clearly. Again, these two are vacant. What happens? One output is directly connected over here. This is directly connected over here. Now, I gave a clock over here. This is one flip-flop I told. This part, if you can see, this part is one flip-flop. This part is another flip-flop. This is known as the master. The next one is known as the slave. Now, so already I've given a clock over here. So I should also give a clock over here. Now, when I'm giving a clock over here, what happens? This clock input is nothing but the knot of clock what you have given. Whatever clock you have given, clock pulse, the complement of the clock pulse will be given over here. So I have a clock over here, you can see. I should give it to a NOT gate and I should give, that means when clock is equal to 1, this will work, master will work. When clock is equal to 0, the slave will work. So I'll take the clock, I'll take the NOT gate, give the input over here, and this will act as the clock over here. Now what happens? Suppose if I give 1, 0. Now when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, this will work. Okay. So when J is 1, what is the output? When clock is equal to 1, when J is equal to 1, this is working. So J is equal to 1 means our Q will be equal to 1. Now here I'll be having 1, the value over here. This is one flip-flop. So first flip-flop, this value is 1. This value will be equal to 0. How did I get that? When I give the first input, based on the first input combination, so I gave the input combination as J1, K0. This is a JK flip-flop. So according to the function table, when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, Q will be equal to 1. Now this diagram represents the complete MSJK flip-flop. Now how is this working? Let us analyze how is this working. Now when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 0. According to the function table, I was given clock is equal to 1, but this is positive edge of the clock, this will be the negative edge of the clock. Or this is the during the positive cycle of the clock, negative cycle of the clock. Master will work during the positive cycle, your slave will work during the negative cycle. Now what we will do, this is the master I told, this part is the master, and from here we have the slave. Now J is 1, K is 1, I have given one example over here. When J is 1, K is 0, what is the Q value? Q will be 1. Clearly we know that Q is 1 and this is, here we'll be having Q bar is 0. So Q bar, let me make it as 0. This is the output during the positive cycle of the clock or when clock is equal to 1. Now to see the output at the slave end, we should make clock is equal to 0, which means the slave part is getting activated. This clearly indicates that the slave part is getting activated. So we have our slave part. This is our slave. So when is it getting activated? It is getting activated when clock is equal to 0. So when clock is equal to 0, this is activated. But what will be the inputs to this part? The inputs to this is whatever we have solved earlier. So what is the input what is the output of the master? Whatever is the output of the master, we have the output of the master as 1 and 0. The output of this master acts as a slave to this. So when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 0 because the output was 1 and 0. Now this value will be 1 and this value will be 0. In the slave flip-flop, when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 0, what will be the output? Again, this is a JK. So the input is 1, 0. Since the input is 1 and 0, what will be the output? Output is 1. So you can clearly see that the output is 1. Now this is how an MSJK works. Now let us see how to code this MSJK flip-flop. Now MSJK flip-flop consists of two JK flip-flops, right? One is the master, the other one is the slave. So it is always good to code MSJK flip-flop in terms of JK flip-flop using structural model. So we can code it using structural model. So what do I do? Module MSJK, MSJK, Q is the output, Q bar also I require. Okay, Q, J and K, comma, clock. So these are the things what I'll be retaining. I need a Q bar also because I'll be coding it in terms of gate level model. Now input, what are the inputs? I have J, K and clock as the input. Output will be Q and Q bar. Okay. So now where is our output? Our output is exactly in, if you see this is our output Q and here I'll get the output Q bar. This is my output Q bar. The output is always at the end of slave. The output is always at the end of the slave terminal. So this I will make it as QB. Okay, Q bar. But I also, what is the input to the slave? The input to the slave is the output from the master. So I will get two intermediate signals over here. So let me tap those intermediate signal. I have one intermediate signal over here and I also have an intermediate signal over. So this is what is acting as the input to this flip-flop. So you can see this is going as input over here and this signal is going as input over here. So what is the, you have to name these signals. These signals will be wires. So let me name it as QI and this let me label it as QI bar. So here I will label it as QI bar because they are intermediate signal. QI is the input over here, QI bar is the input. Then I have this one. So this I can label it as clock bar. They are all intermediate signals. Now come back to the coding. Now how do we code it? module JK, I have wire, Q bar is one wire, Q intermediate is one wire, QIB intermediate is one more wire. Then this JK, MS-JK consists of two JKs. So the first one is JK flip-flop. Let me label it as G1. Okay. Now I'll write a comment over here. In JK flip-flop, what are the inputs and outputs? Q will be one output. Q bar is one more output. Input is J, K and clock. This is the format. So in our design, so if you can see our design, in this design, we have two JK flip-flops. Let me write that for you. So this is the first JK flip-flop I have, and this is the second two JK flip-flops I'll be having. Now for this JK flip-flop, I have the inputs J, K and clock. And what is the output? I got the output as QI and QI bar. So the second JK flip-flop, in place of J I have QI, in place of K I have QI bar, and in place of Q it is Q only, in place of Q bar it is Q bar only. We have to map the ports and we have to write it. So JK flip-flop, in the first JK flip-flop, what is the output? Output is QI. And what is the next output? Next output is QI bar, QIB I've written. Then input is J, the next input is K, and one more input we have is clock. This is the first JK flip-flop. Then what about the second JK flip-flop? What about the second JK flip-flop? JK flip-flop, G2. What are the inputs? This is the first JK flip-flop. So the second one is JK flip-flop, G2. So if I write the output, output is Q, first output. Second output is Q bar. And input is what? We don't have the input as J. Input will be QI. The other input will be QI bar. And next one will be clock bar. Then what is clock bar equal to? It is a NOT gate, G3. Output is clock bar. Input is what? Clock. So that's all. This is all regarding JK flip-flop, and we can end it. MS end module. This will end our MS JK. But what about this JK? Do we have the primitives available? We don't have primitives available for JK. So we have to write the code for JK. So the next one will be module JK FF. Same module names I should use. And I should write the program for JK flip-flop. So what are the inputs, outputs of JK? Q. This should be in the same order ports, in-out ports, J, K and clock. Input J, K, clock. What is my output? My output is Q and Q bar. Output for JK. Now again, here it is Q, Q bar, JK. Here it is Q, Q bar, JK. It is okay because this is a different module. This is a different module. You can use the same variables. But if you have confusion, you can write different names over here. You can give different variable names. But if there is no confusion, no problem. Output Q and Q bar. So let me write it as register Q and Q bar. And write the program for JK. So we already know how to write the program for JK. Always at positive clock. This can also be a negative clock, but as per the explanation we have seen, I've considered a positive clock, so I've written it as positive. Begin. So I can give case j comma k, which means that I'm concatenating both the bits and I'm writing 2 tick b00. Next one is 2 tick b01. According to the truth table, jk will be having 2 bits. So it is 2 tick b10, 2 tick b11, and the last one should be default. We already know it should be default. Now, when j and k is equal to 0, 0, what is your q equal to? When j and k is equal to 0, 0, q is equal to q, no change, right? So q bar will be equal to q bar. So two statements I have, that's why I have to give a begin and end. Now when j is equal to 0 and k is equal to 1, what is my jk value, my q and q bar value? So I will write, you can write it in different ways. I'll write it like this, q and qb. Okay, this is q bar. I've written fully I've written. The variable name should be the same thing, q and q bar. What is the output when it is equal to 0, 1? When it is equal to 0, 1, q will be equal to 0, 2 tick b 0, and q bar is 1. So the same thing I can follow this or this, any format you can follow, either line number 20 or line number 21. When it is 1, 0, q and q bar is equal to 2 tick b 1, 0. And when it is 1, 1, what is the thing? When it is 1 and 1, 2 tick b 1, 1. 2 tick b11, so I will just write this statement because it's easy for us. When j is 1 and k is 1, q is equal to q bar, right? And q bar will be equal to q, or q is equal to naught of q. Naught of q is nothing but q bar, or else we can write like this also. Q is equal to naught of q and q bar is equal to naught of q bar. End. Then default case, what will we do? Default case, in default case we have to retain the previous values, so we will retain the previous values. And next, what do I have? Next it is, I'm going to end, and then I'm going to end case, and then I'm going to end the module. If you write correctly, see, module will start over here, end module will also be there only. So case, I have written module over here, but my end module is over here, means something is a miss, it is not matching. So end, indentations will be same. So always begin, end case, then I'll be having end, and then I'll be having end module. So if I write end module, it should come to the correct location. End module. Now it's correct. You can see the indentation. It is perfect. So this is how a MS-JK flip-flop has to be written. And you have to write the test bench for MS-JK in the similar format which we have seen up to now. And we can analyze the test bench also in the timing diagrams. Thank you. So we'll go for the timing diagrams.
We have the main module for MS-JK and the sub-module for JK flip-flop using the case statement. Now if you write the test bench, we have written a sample test bench with the test fixtures. 0, 5, 4, 3, 2 are the different time units where there is a change in the J and K values. Again, in the main program, I have clearly mentioned during the positive edge of the clock, JK is working. So let us see the simulation results. Now I have the simulation results over here. Initially, I have set Q is equal to 0, Q bar is equal to 1, and J and K is 0 and 1. I'll go to the first clock pulse. Clock is equal to 1. During the positive edge of the clock, what is Q? Q is 0 and Q bar is 1. How did Q and Q bar become 1? We are discussing MSJK. So in MSJK, during the first clock cycle, what is happening? J is equal to 0 and K is equal to 0. So where we will get the output? We will get the output at Qi. Qi will be equal to 0 and Qi bar will be equal to 1. So this is during the positive edge. During the negative edge, so this is at the positive edge. Now during the negative edge, what happens? This is master is enabled during the positive edge. During the negative edge, so here we are at the positive edge of the clock pulse. We should observe the output during the negative edge of the clock pulse. So this negative edge. So during the negative edge of the clock pulse, what is happening? Qi and Qi bar will go as input to the slave. So J of slave will be equal to Qi. This will be equal to 0. And the second input is K of slave will be equal to Qi bar, and this will be equal to 1. So what will be the output during the negative edge? During the negative edge, I'll get Q. If J is 0 and K is 0, Q will be equal to 0 and Q bar will be equal to 0. This output is available in the negative edge of the clock because the slave works at the negative edge. So clearly we can see that at the negative edge over here, this is the negative edge of the clock, what is placed. We can see clock is 0, J is 0, K is 1. So we have Q is 0 and Q bar is 1 according to our analysis. Similarly, if you go to the next analysis, during the next positive edge, so we can analyze completely. This negative edge is done. During the next positive edge, what is happening? Here I have J is equal to 0, K is equal to 1. Based on J is equal to 0, K is equal to 1, Qi and Qi bar results will be available. During the next negative edge, based on whatever is your Qi and Qi bar inputs, J and K of the slave will be evaluated and you'll get the corresponding results. So this is working in the same form, and it has to be analyzed in this format, MSJK. Now let us summarize MSJK. Now master slave JK. Now before coming to master slave summary, why not we implement a master slave flip-flop using SR? What will happen? A master slave flip-flop can also be implemented using SR. I'll show how it has been done in the continuous sections. So when we implement a master slave using SR flip-flop and analyze the output, when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1 in a master slave flip-flop, the output will be goes to 0 and it becomes undefined. So to avoid this condition, what we have done is we have used a master slave JK flip-flops. Now master slave JK flip-flop will allow two information inputs to be simultaneously 1, which means J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1 condition is allowed. According to master slave flip-flop, or if before master slave, if you take a JK flip-flop, when J is equal to 1, K is equal to 1, it will toggle. But if you take an SR flip-flop, when S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, we'll get into something known as forbidden state. So if you use SR flip-flop in master and slave format, that condition cannot be avoided. That is the reason we are using JK flip-flop. So this is a master slave flip-flop which we have designed using SR. So again, summary, what happens in when clock is equal to 1, when clock is equal to 1, the master will be enabled, and when clock is equal to 0, the slave will be enabled. So when clock is equal to 0, the slave will be enabled, and when clock is equal to 1, the master will be enabled. So as analyzed various conditions over here, when assume that the flip-flop is in one state means Q is equal to 1 and q bar is equal to 0, this condition. Q is equal to 1 and q bar is equal to 1. Now if j is equal to 1 and k becomes 0, what happens? The output of the j gate is 0. So whatever you get out of the j gate, this gate, so output out of this gate will be equal to 0. And the output out of this k gate will be equal to 1. This is fed into the flip-flop and you will get the results. But at this state, if you make if the clock is changed 1, this is 0 and 1 because initially I have taken j is equal to 1, k is equal to 1, and assuming that this flip-flop is in one state. So when this flip-flop is in one state, and if this happens, if clock changes to 1, now if clock changes to 1, so this is already in one state. Now if clock changes to 1, the master will get into a reset state. So this master will get into a reset state because I have a 0 over here and 1 over here. So S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, 1 will give you QM is equal to 0 and QM bar is equal to 1. Similar condition we can also assume for when the flip-flop is in 0 state. 0 state means I'm assuming this is 0. When either of the inputs of NAND gate is 0, this will be equal to 0. So J will be equal to 0. Okay, if it is in 0 state, we can see one more thing is feedback path. This is 0 and this is 1. So it means what will be available over here? A 1 will be available over here. Now 1 is available over here. What happens? The output of this AND gate will be equal to 1 and this will be equal to 0. This 1 I have written assuming the previous state. In that condition, what happens? 1 and 0, what will be the output of this flip-flop? The output of this flip-flop will be a set state. So the master will be in set state. So this will be a 1 and this will be a 0 state. And if there is a 1 on JK line, the third condition, if there is a 1 on J line, so I have a 1 over here and a 0 on K line. If I put a 0 over here, so 1 and 0, it means what happens if the initial output is 1, if the initial output previous state is 1, if it is 1 and 1, previous output is 1 means this, if this is 1, this will actually be 0 because I'm connecting Q bar over here. So if initially this flip-flop slave was in one state, then this will be equal to 0. So this S value will be equal to 0. R value will be equal to 1. So when S is 0, R is 1, the flip-flop will go to a reset state. So this QM will be equal to 0 and this will be equal to 1. So in that format, we can analyze the master slave JK flip-flop. And for that analysis, we also have the truth table over here, JK, and this is the clock pulse. We are not here, we have not spoken about positive edge and negative edge. We have taken as clock pulse is equal to 0 and clock pulse is equal to 1. Based on that, we have got the output Q and Q bar. Q and Q bar indicates the present state, Q plus and Q plus bar indicates the next state. And also I have the timing diagram. I have already shown the timing diagram in the waveform. Still, if you want, we can see the timing diagram over here. So when clock is equal to, okay, this is clock is equal to 0. I will not go for clock is equal to 0. Let me take for clock is equal to 1 at this particular point. So when clock is equal to 1, if you see here, clock is equal to 1. So when clock is equal to 1, J value is 1, K value is 0. When j value is 1, k value is 0, what will be working when clock is equal to 1? When clock is equal to 1, the master will be working. So since the master is working, qm is equal to 1 and qm bar is equal to 0. Whereas the slave output will be still retained in the previous state. So I'll just put a question mark. This is retained in the previous state. Now, when will our slave output change? A slave output will change when we go to clock is equal to 0. So here I have clock is equal to 0. When clock is equal to 0, what will be my inputs? When clock is equal to 0, I'll just show somewhere over. When clock is equal to 0, the inputs will be nothing but J and QM and QM bar. The output of the master will act as the input to the slave. Here you can see QM is 1 and QM bar is 0. So if QM is 1 and QM bar is 1 means what does that indicate? That indicates that the J is equal to J of the slave will be 1 and K of the slave will be 1. Therefore, Q of the slave will be 1 and Q bar of the slave is 0. So this is a sample timing diagram. You can analyze for other conditions, other cases also. Now, aside from latches, whatever we have seen till now is latches. Apart from latches, we will be having two categories of flip-flops. Already I have mentioned that. One is pulse triggering and one is edge triggering. So pulse triggered, we will be having positive pulse and negative pulse. Edge triggering, positive edge and negative edge. Latches are pulse triggered. We can take flip-flops will be edge triggered. That is the best difference we can observe. We have observed till now. Latches will have an immediate output, but flip-flops will not have an immediate output. They have to sense what is the current state and generate the output. Now, what was the master-slave flip-flop? We had not discussed about the master-slave flip-flop. So master-slave flip-flop will have two sections. First section will be the master. Second section will be the slave. It is similar to JK flip-flop, but I went for JK flip-flop so that it is a continuation of your T flip-flop. Now information will be entered into the master on the positive cycle, and information will be entered into the slave, and or we'll get the output from the slave during the negative clock cycle. So here I'm using clock pulses. So master is working as a latch and slave is also working as a latch. Until we speak about edge triggering, they will always work about latches. So again, when clock is equal to 0, already we have discussed, when clock is equal to 0, master will be disabled, slave will be enabled. When clock is equal to 1, slave will be disabled, master will be enabled, and the output is based on that. So I've just shown the timing diagrams over here. So when clock is equal to 0, so here we can see that clock is equal to 0. And one more thing, we have the timing diagram like this. But when we observed the Xilinx, the waveform was, there was no difference as such, and all the waveforms were like this. That is because we have not given any delay. So this, if you give like this will be the rising edge delay and this will be the falling edge delay. From where to where, the delay will be from here to here. And here also the delay will be from here to here, rising edge delay and falling edge delay. We have not spoken about that as of now. So when clock is equal to 0, slave is enabled. When clock is equal to 1, master is enabled, slave is disabled. Again, similarly, when clock is equal to 0 over here, slave is disabled, slave is enabled, and master is disabled. Similar to that, we will be having a truth table. Again, as I told, we went to master slave flip-flop, master slave JK flip-flop to avoid this condition. When S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1, I will get QM is equal to 1, QM bar is equal to 1. Again, when this is the slave is triggered during the negative cycle with QM is equal to 1 and QM bar is equal to 1, my output will go into a forbidden state. So to avoid this condition only, we have gone to a we have updated to a master slave JK flip flop instead of an SR flip flop, master slave SR flip flop. Similarly, we have the timing diagram for master slave flip flop. So the similar way we have analyzed the timing diagram for JK flip flop, we can analyze the timing diagram for master slave flip flop. This is pulse triggered. So since it is pulse triggered, I will take the pulse triggering and I will show with the delay. This is with delay. So during the positive pulse of the clock, if clock is equal to 1, S is equal to 1, S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0. Since S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, Q is equal to 1 and QM bar is equal to 0. This is because of the master. This part is because of the master is enabled. Now when will the slave be enabled? The slave is enabled during the negative cycle. This is master. Slave is enabled during the negative cycle. So negative, where is clock is equal to 0? So take clock is equal to 0. When clock is equal to 0, what is our J condition and what is our K condition? Not J and K. We have to consider what is QM and what is QM bar. When clock is equal to 0, what is our QM value and what is our QM value and QM bar value, which will act as the S and R inputs to the slave. Now we can see this is 1 and this is 0. So when the inputs to the slave are 1 and 0, output will also be 1 and 0 according to the SR flip-flop truth table. So you can analyze the complete diagram. Now, in master slave flip-flop, we observe something known as zeros and ones catching problem. How we observed the race around condition in JK flip-flop, and that could be avoided by using toggling state using edge triggered flip-flop. We observe something known as zeros and ones catching problem in master slave flip-flop. Now what is zeros and ones catching problem? Now assume that the master is enabled during the entire period of the clock cycle. That is, master will be active when clock is equal to 1. Now if the slave is already in one state, so slave is already in one state, so let me write this for you. When clock is equal to 1, what is enabled? Master is enabled. Now slave output, that is Q is already in one state. Okay, Q is equal to 1, Q bar will be 0. Now suppose if I make K is equal to 1, assume if I'm making K is equal to 1, let us assume that J is equal to 0. When K is equal to 1, what will happen to the output of the master since clock is equal to 1 state? When K is equal to 1, output will become a reset. So what happens? The master will reset. Now when master resets, let me assume that is the intermediate signal QR. QI master is resetting means QI will be equal to 0. If QI is equal to 0, when clock is equal to 0, what happens? Slave will be enabled. If slave is enabled, what will become to the real value of Q? Q will change to 0. Although initially Q was in one state, when clock is equal to 1, if you make K is equal to 1, again if clock is latched to 0, the slave is enabled and Q will be equal to 0. This problem is known as zeros catching problem. This is happening during the second clock pulse. So this is one case. Similarly, if you take another case, So if I take another case, the other case is assume initially Q is equal to 0 state. Now if Q is equal to 0 and I make J1, why am I making J1? J is equal to 1 means flip-flop will be going to reset state. I mean flip-flop will be going to set state. Now when J is equal to 1, let us assume K will be equal to 0. When K is equal to 0, intermediate Qi will be equal to 1 since J is equal to 1. Now if I make my clock is equal to 0, what is the input that goes into my slave flip-flop? For my slave, my J value for slave, J value of slave will be equal to Qi, and this is nothing but it will be equal to 1. Since it is equal to 1, what is my Q value? Q value will get updated to 1. Upon this happens during the falling edge or when clock is equal to 0. This problem is known as once catching problem. In many applications, we should avoid zeros and ones catching problem. It is not required for us. So this is all about flip-flops and the problems associated with each flip-flop. Thank you.